Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, Maxfield residents are shocked of news Kingston man was dealing illegal guns and drugs from food truck in US. Residents of Maxfield Avenue in Kingston expressed their surprise at one of their own who got the opportunity to live the American dream, but instead, according to United States authorities, ran afoul of the law in a major gun and drug running operation from a food truck. The Orange County Sheriff's Office in New York said that the epicenter of the illicit trade, Kirkland Salmon, 42, is one of 30 persons arrested in an operation dubbed Hot Lunch. 3 people are reportedly at large. Someone whose food truck bears the Jamaican flag was reportedly situated, among others, in a parking lot in front of a courthouse. The operation has been deemed a very daring and a sophisticated disguise, which took investigators 6 months to unravel. Tongues in the Kingston 13 community, of which Salmon is affiliated, have been wagging since the news broke of the arrest, which has left many disappointed. The news gathered that since Thursday, it has been the topic in several WhatsApp groups. Him and him brother migrate go foreign a while now, but him still keep in touch. Me shock, but we now say you can't juggle, but that's so. Remember him and the youth them growing up, so him not left them out. A resident told the news yesterday, adding that he didn't leave and turn his back. Another resident from the Kingston space said, "Me kinda surprised him involved in it. People would all start feel him send gun come to Jamaica. Whether it goes so or not. Enough people want a chance to go foreign and make better for themselves. I won't judge him still. You have people that do worse but nobody no know. Then probably all deport him. A years the G have that restaurant they run. All me myself never know them thing they are going. Remember America, you know? A next food vendor probably has say, oh, them have so much customers and rat them out. A bull we call him. Youth will grow with till him father, who a soldier fell for them." Another Kingston 13 resident said. At this point, it has not been ascertained if any of the firearms sold were sent to Jamaica. A local law enforcement officer, speaking on condition of anonymity, said that even if the guns don't come here, how sure are we that the money has not been sent and collected to fund the criminality or buy weapons? Investigators say the illicit business was operated from a truck bearing the name Real Spice Delivery and Catering, and they said it took some 40 different law enforcement agencies to bring the investigation to a close. The guns were sold in lunch takeout containers. The Orange County Sheriff's Office say the operators sold food, guns and cocaine and made millions. Investigators theorize this is one of the largest drug trafficking and gun-busting operations in the history of Orange County. The news understands that at the end of the 6-month probe, all indications were that someone is the head of the snake. They believe the firearms were brought up from North Carolina and the drugs sourced in Florida. Officials said what sets the enterprise apart was the level of complexity, which involved a 4-tier system. District Attorney David Hoovler said the money generated moved around with ease. It was invested into real estate property and the crypto properties in Orange County and other things, Hoovler said at a May 21 press conference. Investigators say the illicit business raked in over US $3 million per year, and many undercover police officers made purchases. If convicted, the suspects face up to 25 years in prison. The news reported on Friday that the food truck was at one time situated on Broadway in Newburgh across from the city center, which housed the offices of the mayor, but was relocated to the space 150 feet from the courthouse. The charging document and the filed statements made in court alleged that the investigation revealed that someone was at the center of 4 different conspiracies to traffic narcotics and firearms throughout Orange County. The documents and the filed statement said that someone was supplied with quantities of cocaine by 2 different narcotics suppliers to distribute from his food truck. Someone was also supplied with firearms to resell in Orange County. During the operation, law enforcement agents seized 24 firearms and 1 kilogram of cocaine. On the day of the enforcement action, May 21, police also recovered over 11 kilograms of cocaine, approximately 90 grams of fentanyl, 7 guns, high-capacity magazines, numerous rounds of ammunition, and approximately US $45,000, as well as scales and packaging materials used in narcotics trafficking and 10 vehicles used for distribution. Minimum wage increase takes effect today. Scores of low-income earners and the security guards will see increased wages starting today as the new national minimum wage takes effect. Two orders that will increase the national minimum wage and the minimum wage for industrial security guards were approved by the House of Representatives on April 23. These are the National Minimum Wage Amendment Order 2024 and the Minimum Wage Industrial Security Guards Amendment Order 2024. They were piloted by Minister of Labor and Social Security Colonel Charles Jr. The increases will see the national minimum wage moving from $13,000 to $15,000 per 40-hour work week. The minimum wage for industrial security guards will increase from $14,000 to $15,000 per 40-hour work week. Providing further details of the increases, Charles Jr. said the single-time rate is to move from $325 to $375 per hour for work done during any period not exceeding 40 hours in any week. He also told the House that the time-and-a-half rate is to be increased from $487.50 to $562.50 per hour for work done in excess of 40 hours in any week, and the double time is to move from $650 to $750 per hour for work done during any period on a rest day or on a public holiday. In relation to the minimum wage for industrial security guards, Charles Jr. said the single-time rate is to increase from $350 to $375 per hour for work done during any period not exceeding 40 hours in any week. He pointed out that the time-and-a-half rate is to move from $525 to $562.50 per hour for work done in excess of 40 hours in any week, and the double time is to be increased from $700 to $750 per hour for work done during any period on a rest day or public holiday. According to Charles Jr., the wage increase for industrial security guards applies solely to the basic rate. As such, this increase does not currently encompass any adjustments to allowances and insurance benefits. Subsequently, the prevailing rates will remain, said Charles Jr., as he noted that laundry allowance will remain at $52.38 per hour, firearm premium allowance at $57.15 per hour, dog handlers premium allowance at $39.29 per hour, and the life insurance coverage with a double indemnity protection and the dismemberment coverage at $3,273,000. The minister reiterated that the minimum wage stands at a basic standard and urged the employers, particularly those with the means to do so, to offer their workers compensation that exceeds the minimum threshold while applauding those already doing so. We should all be aware of the challenges faced by the workforce and demonstrate a resolve in creating a decent working environment and offer support to advance the sustainable development and the productivity of our labor force, said Charles Jr. He reiterated the commitment to upholding the principle of fairness, fostering economic stability, and promoting the well-being of all stakeholders within the local labor force. While welcoming the increase during the April 23 sitting of the House, opposition spokeswoman on Foreign and Regional Affairs, Dr. Angela Brownberg, called for greater stakeholder dialogue. The People's National Party had charged that the decision to increase the minimum wage and the wage for security guards was done without consulting the Minimum Wage Advisory Commission or stakeholders. According to the PNP, while it is committed to advocating a livable wage for all Jamaicans, the way the increase was decided on failed to ensure that the minimum wage reflects the various factors affecting the working public's quality of life, including the cost of living and inflation. The PNP firmly believes that a consultation with stakeholders must be the standard practice in determining minimum wage adjustments. Without such a consultation, there is a risk that political tactics and expediency may drive government decisions regarding the minimum wage potentially neglecting the true needs of the working population, the party said in a release. Teaching Council wants to stop suspended teachers from moving to overseas classrooms. Head of the Jamaica Teaching Council, Dr. Winsome Gordon, has expressed a concern that teachers whose licenses have been suspended or revoked may move overseas and obtain employment. To prevent this, Dr. Gordon is suggesting that the suspended or revoked license be returned to the JTC. The concern we have is that if that physical license is not returned to the council, then we will need to have a process to identify who are teachers here teaching without the license or if they use it abroad, because the council has a link to other countries in terms of our accreditation of our teachers, and we don't want somebody who has been suspended in Jamaica or whose license has been revoked to go into a foreign country and is able to utilize it, said Dr. Gordon. The matter of whether a teacher should return a license after suspension or revocation came up as the Joint Select Committee of Parliament reviewing the JTC bill continued its deliberation on Thursday. There was some confusion in the sitting as members debated why the committee opted to delete subclause 61.4 dealing with the return of a license, which is also dealt with in subclause 49.3. Government member of the committee, Senator Kavon Gale, questioned if Dr. Gordon was presenting new information to the committee and asking for a review and a revision of the position that was taken. Dr. Gordon affirmed that they wanted to bring the matter back to the table because since the previous deliberations, the JTC has established relationships with the councils in the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States, which would impact teachers' employment. We are now a body that has established ourselves as the body that provides teachers with a professional standing to similar bodies in other countries when they go to get employment abroad. So we don't want to be in a position where we are tracking anybody to find out if they're using the license that was suspended or revoked. We would like the license to be returned. We don't want to have that responsibility to be tracking somebody whose license has been suspended or revoked, she said. However, Solicitor General Marlene Aldred argued that the bigger issue was that there are two provisions in the proposed legislation basically saying the same thing. She noted that the committee made a decision to remove it from 61.4, so she was not clear on the rationale to keep it in 49.3 if it was already deleted in another clause. Aldred asked if the committee was now reconsidering the matter and making a decision if the provision should be retained in both places. It was an inconsistent decision which needs to be rectified. I don't know, perhaps someone can go back to the minutes of that meeting to see why the committee took that decision at the time, said Aldred. In response, committee chairman, Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams said the matter would be revisited. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.